Good morning. In today's day and age, the majority of our population have smartphones. It is important that a company manufacture and provide their customers with reliable and safe phones, especially because not only are adults handling the phones, but young children do as well. A survey was conducted this year based on Pew Research Center survey. About 3/4 of U.S. adults, 77%, say they own a smartphone. PewResearch.org. Every so often, newest phones come out bigger and better, which a lot of people want the newest thing out there, right? Well, on August 31st, 2016, it was reported that Samsung had temporarily suspended deliveries of the new Galaxy Note 7. We are checking whether the deliveries were halted or not, a representative from Samsung stated. Yelp News. Shortly after, there were reports of the Galaxy Note 7 burning up and catching on fire. The Galaxy Note 7 recall is one of the industry's largest in history and biggest crisis of Samsung, the New York Times. In order for the South Korean giant who is trying to make Samsung a household name to overcome this crisis, one, they need to have accurate information, two, they need to address the situation in a timely manner, and three, they need to show that they care. The goal of this presentation is to understand image repair theory through analyzing the Samsung Note 7 crisis and how their management team responded. Today, I'm first going to discuss image repair theory. Second, I'm going to discuss how Samsung responded. And third, I'm going to discuss my recommendations for organizations. Introduced by William Bennett, image restoration theory outlines strategies that can be employed to restore image in an event where reputation has been damaged. Image restoration theory can be applied as an approach for understanding personal and organizational crisis situations. Image repair is made up of 5 strategies: denial, evading responsibility, reducing offensiveness, corrective action, and mortification. Denial is when the individual in question can either deny that the event in question ever occurred or deny the fact that they are guilty for it. Evading responsibility is when the accused passes blame onto another party for various reasons. Reducing offensiveness is when an accused individual may attempt to reduce the degree of ill feeling experienced by the audience through 6 methods: bolstering, minimization, differentiation, transcendence, attacking one's accuser, and compensation. Corrective action is when the accused individual promises they will fix the problem by doing one of 2 things: correcting one's wrongdoings or making sure the incident never happens again. Mortification is the most direct of the other strategies, as the accused individual admits responsibility for the actions in question and seeks forgiveness for them. Image repair theory is most useful when a person or organization is in a crisis. The main focus of the theory is to restore one's reputation to stakeholders. The assumptions of this theory are that communication is best thought of as a goal-directed activity, and maintaining a positive reputation is one of the central goals. For instance, in the situation of the Samsung Note 7 crisis, the company's PR team is going to come together and issue statements addressing the crisis in hopes to repair their reputation. By not publicly addressing the crisis, a company or person will forever have a tarnished reputation and could possibly be the end of one's career or the end of their company. On August 31st, 2016, it was reported that Samsung had temporarily suspended deliveries of the new Galaxy Note 7. Shortly after, there were reports of the Galaxy Note 7 burning up and catching on fire. There was a total of 35 incidents. Samsung announced a broad recall on September 2nd, 2016, and suspended sales. A defect in the battery is found which caused some of the phones to overheat and catch on fire. Samsung exchanged the faulty phones with new ones. The new revised phones' batteries had different batteries by a different company. Thinking that their crisis was over was an understatement, because those phones were catching on fire as well. One incident that was reported caught on fire on an airplane, which then the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration got involved and issued an advisory regarding the Samsung Note 7 and were banned on flights. On October 10, 2016, Samsung permanently discontinued the Galaxy Note 7 after a full investigation came to the conclusion that because of the sleek new design, The way the battery was placed was the reason behind why the phones were catching on fire. It didn't matter what company it came from. It came down to the design of the phone. The theory applies to the case because the South Korean giant was undergoing a worldwide crisis. Their reputation was at stake, and they had to correct and fix the problem. And in doing so, they had to communicate to the public and their stakeholders. Samsung put out several statements regarding the Galaxy Note 7 crisis. The first statement they put out was on September 2nd, 2016, which stated, Samsung is committed to producing the highest quality products, and we take every instant for our valued customers very seriously. In response to the recent reported cases of the new Galaxy Note 7, we conducted a thorough investigation and found a battery cell issue to date. There have been 35 cases that have been reported globally, and we are currently conducting a thorough investigation with our suppliers to identify possible affected batteries in the market. However, because our customers' safety is an absolute priority at Samsung, we have stopped sales of the Galaxy Note 7. For customers who already have Galaxy Note 7 devices, we voluntarily replace their current devices with new ones over the coming weeks. We acknowledge the inconvenience that it may cause in the market, but this is to ensure that the Samsung continues to deliver the highest quality product to our customers. We are working closely with our partners to ensure the replacement experience is as convenient and efficient as possible. Forbes wrote in another statement issued by Samsung in Hong Kong, assuring customers that the phones in Hong Kong use different batteries than the ones reported about, and they would not be affected. However, the very next day, Samsung was forced to retract their statement. 500 phones in Hong Kong, in fact, had those faulty batteries. In the third statement Samsung issued by Kung Dun Jin, the vice president, more than 3 months after terminating sales of the phone, finally the company takes full responsibility in the flaws. Our investigation, as well as the investigation completed by 3 independent industry organizations, concluded that batteries were found to be the cause of the Note 7 incidents. We provided the target for the battery specifications for the innovative Note 7, and we are taking responsibility for our failure to ultimately identify and verify the issue arising out of the battery design and manufacturing process prior to the launch of the Note 7. In the first statement, Samsung's crisis team used evading responsibility by passing blame to the battery suppliers. They also reduced offensiveness by offering to replace the phones. In the second statement, they used reducing offensiveness by stating phones in Hong Kong would not be effective, but in fact they were. In the third statement, they finally took full responsibility for the failure of the phones due to the design, which is the fifth strategy, mortification. While it is true that timely and informative communication is one of the secrets to successful crisis management in this day and age, it is also equally important for those communications to be factual. Taking too long to communicate in a crisis will result in criticism. Lack of control over messaging can also ultimately hurt your organization's reputation and bottom line. But on the other hand, speaking too quickly can have equally damaging repercussions. A harsh lesson that Samsung was in the process of learning when having to retract their second statement, Forbes.com. My key takeaway is, yes, it is important to respond to the crisis in a timely manner, but it is critical that crisis management team have factual information before going public, because their rashness could result in upset customers and stakeholders. Thank you.